around to face him. The back of his pants are covered in black shit, as in fecal matter matting and hardening. He passes a long-winded gasp but doesn't even break stride talking to the other guy. Pauses, looks at the ceiling abruptly, snaps his head back forward and vomits all over the guy he was speaking with. He starts to talk again like nothing happened. Arguing starts to get louder behind me between contractor and sergeant. Start to step back a little bit. Shit pants guard starts telling vomit guard to take off his mask so he can see his face. Vomit guard is freaking out trying to clean his face shield while crouched on one knee. Shit pants starts stepping closer to his crouched body and reaching for his mask. What the fuck is he doing? Start yelling at him to back up and leave the other guard alone. Ignores me, throws up on guard again, still reaching for his mask, and they start to scuffle. Shitpants is screaming for him to take off his mask so he can see his face. I run up and hit Shitpants with a bit of my weapon. He rolls off, gets to his knees and continues to shit and vomit himself, screaming at vomit guard to take off his mask. I start wrestling with Shitpants and screaming for sergeant to grab flexi cuffs. Screams are muffled because of mask. I'm on top of his chest, but he still is grabbing at my mask trying to rip it off. He is biting the rubber face shield and screaming at me in between. Start freaking out. Rubber overcoat kicks him in the temple. Black blood starts coming from his ears. He starts struggling more, but sergeant saw us fighting and ran over. Now he is flipping him over and gets the cuffs on him. He keeps squirming around. See the cuffs digging into his skin. Vomit guard runs up and we drag Shitpants into an open cell and slide him in and shut the door. We and our gear are all covered in vomit, shit, and blood. Contractor says nothing to us but stares. We all nod in acknowledgement. Shitpants is still screaming, tumbling around in the cell. Contractor has all of us come to him and the techs says bluntly, "If you want to get out of here you need to listen to us. We have a ways to go and I want to stay alive." Then walk off to the next keypad door. Sergeant yells for us to stack up. Stack up, feel slap, assault room. 5 people mulling around in center and look surprised when we enter. I fire and so does everyone else. It's a security station, monitors, intercom system, etc. Secure bodies with flexi cuffs. Sergeant walks to camera monitor and consults me. Says we can bypass a lot of shit if contractor tells us where we are going. Agree, call over contractor. He agrees and looks over the monitors, points to facility clinic and says we need to go there so they can do their job and we can all leave. Facility is much bigger than expected. Contractor tells us first rooms we passed are just holding areas for new prisoners to be sorted. Emergency exit map in security room. Start to plan assault. Place is built like a giant square with several hallways connecting rooms all the way to the center that makes up the largest cell block and aid station. Run rock drills using miscellaneous office supplies. Get confident we know somewhat where we are going. Start to assault the facility again. Get lucky through most of it, but traces of running gun fights are evident throughout stations and we are out of flexi cuffs. Begin using sidearms to ensure they will not pose a threat. Get to a 3-tier block. Decide that we will just assault through as quickly as possible to the other side and try not to avoid getting bogged down. Open door and start beeline. There is a security station in the center. Running toward it to get past and get the fuck out of that place. Door swings open and prisoner with M4 steps at and starts firing at us. America steps out next and takes up a position of cover and starts firing. Hit prisoner standing out and open. Keep up suppressing fire on guard while my teammate runs down the opposite side to flank him. Tags guard. We all rush up to clear the security room. It's empty. Guard is still alive. Tells us they saw what we did to the other guard station and the prisoners and guards that are still alive are armed and waiting for us. Sergeant shoots him. There are only 4 of us that have a shaky understanding of the facility's layout. Makes me nervous. No time to talk. Run across cell block to other door to next room. Continue through several more rooms. Careful at each substation but haven't run into anyone else. Make it to clinic, secure it, then set up defensive position near entrance to protect contractors while they did whatever they were doing. They finish up and come out with a flexi-cuff prisoner and getting more anxiety over the situation. Now we have to tote around 4 people while fighting a force that knows the layout of the structure. Prisoner isn't wearing protective clothing, but he doesn't look sick either. Start to understand why they need him. Begin assault through building, have to cover new territory as it's the shortest point to one of the exits that is an entrance that leads to another facility where we can link up with a fire team from our original assault force on the surface. Start running through rooms trying to be cautious but trying to get the fuck out as quickly as possible. Run into what looks like an ambush. The 3 who set it up are barricaded behind random furniture and bodies litter the kill zone. Start running through the bodies trying to keep weapon level with barricades. Gets to the point where in running on top of bodies. Reach barricade, all dead, still have weapons, looks like they succumb to whatever everyone is sick with. Vomit, shit, black blood, something new with these guys. They look like their abdomens tore open from the pressure of the fluids inside of them. The organs are black, some of the fluid is a deep yellow. Keep running. Getting tired, getting complacent, overheating, dehydrating, nothing we can do but keep running. Sergeant is lagging behind us. We cover more ground and he stops and takes off his mask and throws up. I look at the contractor and he just nods his head. His skin is yellowing, aggressive looking boils on his cheeks, has that same deep red tint to his eyes. Pulls M9, kills himself before we can even say anything. No time, start running forward again hoping to make it to the door. We have 3 more rooms to cover. Contractor calls me back and tells me to stop. I know where this is going, so I put the M4 on him and tell him I kill both of us before I let him waltz out without me and my guys. Tells me not to worry and says we need to deviate slightly to decontamination rooms. Too tired to care and he leads the way. Get to rooms and they spray the gore off the suits, sitting, waiting, for remnants of the original prisoners and guard force to kill me while I just stand there like an asshole while this thing sprays a bunch of shit on me. Nothing happens and we all rendezvous in what he called a clean room to wait on my other 3 guys to get done with their decon process. Start to put gear back on and not paying attention. Gunshots ring out in rapid succession. Contractor has killed the other 2 techs and has gun on me. Tells me he can get me out of there but I need to protect him when we get to the surface. Agree to it. He shuts off the decon and locks my guys inside to die. Has me put on one of the tech's suits instead of my original gear. Takes me not to the door we fought to get to but to an elevator. Nothing seems real. Go on autopilot, and follow him. He knows the layout more than he let on in the beginning. We get to the elevator and he takes us back to the original mock-up village that did all this shit. Rendezvous with my original security element hoping they don't recognize me through the face mask. Hilo lands and takes us across border to Ali Al Salem Air Base in Kuwait. I'm smuggled out of the country and back into the United States. Contractor kept his word and I have kept mine. If I give you my real name it would say I died in a mortar attack in late 2007 in southern Iraq outside of Khazar. I'll leave you with this, a clue, J376.
Hey there. Demon Room Anon back with another story. Nothing paranormal about this one, but it is in fact scary. For some backstory I will need to divulge into my high school life a bit. Mainly to talk about David. David was one of those kids. Creepy, unkempt, and very awkward. But many hung out with him due to him always having the money to buy friendship. No one ever had a good thing to say about him. Always smelled. Never seemed to wash. Never seemed to be able not to make things awkward. Nothing too crazy at first, but around senior year is when he became very unhinged. He had always been creepy when it came to personal space. Walked too close. Sometimes accidentally touched either me or a friend of ours regardless of sex. And always did it with an air of if you say yes we fuck, if you say no it's a joke. But now he went out of his way to make it clear what his intentions were around us. At one point he got punched by one of our friends when he accidentally groped her boob. And one time he got full-on expelled for sneaking into the women locker room and gave the excuse that he was too high to know where he was. No, really, that was his excuse. Once he got expelled I only heard about him here and there. Nothing wild, but more like Bigfoot. It was sightings and rumors. So let's just fast forward to the story at hand. Be me. Working at a call center. Get put in charge of it Rainer's room. Think of it like teacher aide but for trainers to see who would be good to take a spot as a trainer once they or someone else leaves the position. Main thing I need to do is be like the hip fellow the trainees talk to, since many who come in are usually straight out of high school and I was still 21 at the time.